Would you like to be on Hillbilly Broadcast? Of course you would. Who wouldn't? If you find yourself in that category of people, please feel free to go to anchor.fm/PhilSparks and send us a voice message, and we will play it on the show. You say, I'm more of an email guy or gal. Don't worry, we got you covered. Send an email to hillbillybroadcast@aol.com. You say, I don't like either of those options. I'm a Facebook-only individual. That's fine. Look us up on Facebook at Hillbilly Broadcast and send us something on Messenger. Well, you ask, Phil, what if I want to go the extra mile and I want to support you all? Well, I'm glad you asked that question because that is very, very easy. Go back to the first website I told you about, anchor.fm/PhilSparks, and you can support us on a monthly basis if you so choose. We love our audience, we love audience interaction, and we will read your messages or play them on the air.
I can never get enough volume. Got a little bit of a new opening. I sat and worked on that for a good 5 minutes, so I hope you all appreciate all the work I put into it.
And slavery that was put into that.
I can tell.
And I can't really tell what's going on in it. I started off as kind of throwing stuff together, and first you've got like an air raid siren, and you got trains, and I'm like, what kind of a place is this?
Chaos.
And I'm trying to make people think we're recording this show at.
Twains, wonderful twains.
Well,
it's going to be that.
He'll have to whip a kid in the studio. Leroy Lindell coming straight as a child from the studio.
It's going to be that kind of a show.
It is.
We got all three of us here in West Virginia, and then we got Kane and Mariah in Indiana. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good, man. You guys?
Heck yeah, man. We're hanging in.
Good.
You know something I realized on the first episode that we did? It's enraging to me how many times I said, what was the phrase I kept using? Oh, to be clear. Let me be clear.
I mean, they fired Rush Limbaugh the first time at the radio station because he kept using the word, I think it was
or
something like that. Like he kept throwing that in.
I must have said, let's be clear or let me be clear like 12 times. And I turned out looking clearly retarded.
Clear. My brother looked retarded.
Let's be cloudy. Shut up.
Right
I'm just gonna sit here, silence.
That's right, Kanan.
John just pooped in my lap. I felt a shrapnel in my leg.
He felt particles hitting his leg.
Oh,
Shot out of my butthole.
Oh man, you guys are nuts.
322.
Right off the top, I want to say thanks to Anchor for Anchor.fm for sponsoring this episode. It's the easiest way to start a podcast. I also want to say August the 7th, us, which is a band with no name, going to be at Lurch Fest in Philippi, West Virginia. It's on August the 7th. If you're in the Philippi area, come out and see us. You can also go to, if you decide you want to support the show, you can go to anchor.fm/PhilSparks. To support the show, you can also leave us a voice message, and we'll play it on the show for you.
So make sure you come out and see the Chai Mountain Boys.
The Chai. You know what I'm afraid? I'm afraid that name's going to stick. We're going to joke about it enough, and then everybody's just going to start calling us that.
It's already stuck, my man.
Dude, but it's such a terrible name.
Are you guys saying Shy Mountain Boys or Chai Mountain Boys?
Chai, I think.
Let me be clear.
Yeah, let me be clear. Let me be clear. The name Chai Mountain is retarded.
Chai or shy?
I didn't get how do you mess up cheap mountain boys? I just don't get it.
I don't know what happened there. We can blame you though, Kenny. You was the one booked that show.
Yeah,
I mean, they dropped 4 letters and added 1.
Yeah, they did. They did. I don't understand that.
That was a heck of a screw up.
Now, maybe I might have like, you do the speak text. I might have been speak texting and then didn't read it,
Yeah.
Because he does that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that as well, and it doesn't always work out as planned.
You ever watch The Ranch?
Oh, yeah.
There was that one old man. He said, I wrote them up, gave him a piece of my mind. I called him. and then
535.
he said on there, he said, but I didn't proofread. He said, so it ended up saying cooksuckers.
Dude, we got an old guy at work that does the same thing. You'll just see him having his phone out and just screaming into it as he's trying to text. And dude, those texts don't look nothing like what he's actually intending to look like.
Oh yeah. No, it's true. So
Hey,
proofread. I need a proofread from now on.
You proofread.
Oh man.
If I gotta do a large text or something, I'll use that, and then because it's easier then to just go back and fix the mistakes than it is for me to try to fat finger out a whole paragraph.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, true.
Get your fat fingers on
I
that
hate
keyboard.
texting.
Oh man. Well,
Stop it.
There was a lot of things.
I don't know what was about to
I
happen,
know.
but it sounded good.
Oh man. Anyway,
I was feeling
moving on.
that, Kanan. I was feeling that vibe.
Yeah. That train was definitely leaving the station. I was trying to get it honed in.
Thank you, John.
My.
Speaking of things that went wrong, and I shouldn't even say this now, but we were talking last episode, and I had made a joke that I felt like I was married to a monster, and I could just hear you in the background. You said, "Monster in the sack."
Yeah, I did. I heard that on the YouTube version. I was like, oh man, I can't believe I said that. I thought you were gonna bleep out a lot of that stuff.
I did for the final cut.
Well, it's a lot better than what I was gonna say. The first thought was monster, but I was like, I probably couldn't say that.
718.
That's right. Just say all the bad things you have to say out right now, and then we can trim it down.
Yeah, and then you can fix them later.
If you at least get them out now, he only has to edit the first half.
Right,
True.
right.
I'm gonna make your job hard tonight, though, bro.
Yes, you are. I can tell. Let's do a call back to last week's episode. We was talking about posts that make us cringe. Real quick, John, we found a few more, didn't we?
Yeah, a couple pretty good. I'm gonna let you go ahead with yours first because I happened to find one on Phil that yeah, it's pretty cringy.
Mine said this was 2010. This is before I was married. Gonna go
mine's a
eat
lot.
and be an idiot. ... Literally. Ever not like the
Done.
way you act sometimes?
No, dude, you, in your defense, you were really young there.
But what was I going for there?
You were at least 12.
What was you going to go eat to be an idiot? That's what
I don't
wanna
know.
We weren't even married
How
yet.
was I going to eat this
weren't
to
even
show
married
myself I
yet.
was an idiot?
We were not married
You
yet.
are what you eat, right?
Was I going to eat this like a suppository? You don't chew it with my butt? I don't know what was about to happen.
Oh, man. Dot.
John,
You
you found a few. Go
I
ahead.
did. Okay. So this is from 2009. Phil sends me a message, or actually posted on my wall. Says, "Hi, dude," with 2 exclamation points. Says, "Yo ho ho and a bottle of Coke. Dee doo dum dee dum."
D little dumb, huh? Little dumb.
Well, at least the last part of that firmly describes me.
And look at these pictures.
Oh,
So,
man.
those were the days.
Look here.
hey, hold this up.
Look here.
There's old Kane and Heskey right there.
Whoa, dude.
And this
What
right
is that,
here.
a walrus or what?
Oh, there's me and you both.
Oh my
Holy cow.
gosh, Kanan.
Dude, let me guess. That was at King's Restaurant, wasn't
Yes, it was.
Was that a King's?
I bet you I had the King's breakfast.
We was out. We went out with the Turners, our cousins, and we was out there hanging out with them, and that's where a lot of these pictures came from.
Yeah, man.
Dude, you know, believe it or not, I was actually just thinking about that restaurant like 2 days ago, man. I loved that place.
We know,
That was-
we could tell.
That,
I'm just kidding.
that was
Wow, I
King's
appreciate
Restaurant.
it.
That was in.
There's our first fan photo. Look at that.
Oh, my word.
For those that are just listening, as we're going back through and getting reminded of stupid posts, we're also starting to see really stupid-looking pictures that we're also getting reminded of.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Which are available on
But
Facebook.
at that age, you looked a lot better than I did, man. I mean, I looked like I ate everything in my path. Kitchen table, furniture. I mean, it didn't matter, man.
Well, then
Goodness
you quit
gracious.
eating, and I started. So, me and you
well,
just
you
flip
know.
positions.
Oh, yeah. So, I just, man, those were some good times, though, for sure.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Oh, yeah, those were good times.
But, man, dude, now back then, though, when you took them pictures and, you know, you were saying all that stuff, you got to remember, man, we were still listening to the Beach Boys thinking we were cool stuff. I mean, so, you know.
That's very
Beach Boys are still
remember
cool
that.
though.
Dissing the Beach Boys.
I'm
Dude.
not dissing them, but, you know.
They are
I mean,
still good though.
They're good, but let's
They are
be
good.
honest, they're not Def Leppard.
No,
you know.
absolutely.
But
No,
we
they're
felt
not.
like they were back then.
Well,
'Cause I
nothing
remember
is
you
Def
coming
Leppard.
down to my house, Kanan, and you're like, you're like, "Ooh, giggity, you want to hear some good music? I'm like, what do you have there, young Christian fella? And you proceed to go over to the computer and turn on the Beach Boys, and we
Yes.
thought we were hot crap.
Oh,
We
yeah.
did, man. We did,
Oh,
and then your
man.
mom yelling at us to turn it off. Remember
Oh, yeah.
that?
And Mom was finally like,
yeah.
you get that devil music off my computer.
Exactly.
You're going to possess my computer.
You felt the wrath, man.
Your mom's a little
Oh,
superstitious when it comes to that little. She's like,
Oh, my.
don't watch this stuff. You're going to possess my TV.
Yeah. We got a piece of hate mail.
Ow.
Ooh, hate mail.
We got-
Fantastic. That means we're doing our job right.
We got hate mail.
Oh, by the way, if anyone sends us anything, good, bad, ugly, we're going to start reading it.
Don't say that.
On
Let
the
it
podcast?
be a surprise.
Oh,
We will only read it if it's actually good.
But, and by the way,
No, we're gonna
it
read
just
it
so
all.
happens, if you have some hate mail you want to send, you can send it to hillbillybroadcast@aol.com, which is now
Right.
the email address for the show. So
here's-
please write them long, write them loud, and send them to us
Well,
at Hillbilly Broadcast.
Here's the thing. People, like, they get all depressed when they get hate mail. I'm actually hoping we get more because, dude, it's great.
It gives you a lot of show material. It's
It
less
does.
It's less show prep that I have to do. We just have
Exactly
people
right.
screaming at us all day.
Yeah.
can
we
sit here and make
welcome
fun.
this. We welcome this.
Yes, we do. So we got a little bit of hate mail, and it was. I bet you can't guess who spurred this. Which member of the cast spurred this particular piece of hate mail?
Just so y'all know,
I-
we're staring at Canaan right now.
yes.
Yeah.
Poor
Okay.
kid.
It was me. I take it.
We put out a little bit of a preview to show everybody what a fun-loving little group of fellas we were. And
Well, so you're the
Kanan-
one to blame. You posted this. I'll spin this back on you. I'll spin this back on you.
Well, Kanan was just running an endless stream of fat jokes.
I wasn't trying to offend anybody, though.
No, of course not. Of course not.
But I did.
Somebody wasn't a fan of it, and they sent us a little bit of a note here. Let me see. First, they thought that we were making fun of them, and this guy is saying he is trying to go to the gym and lose weight.
Okay,
So
just-
maybe, Kanan, you're actually a motivational speaker.
There we go.
Just to be
There's
fair.
a positive
Here's the
note.
thing. Here's the thing, man. I've been to most of the gyms around Muncie, and I'll tell you, I've not seen this individual. So I call BS on this.
Okay. No, honestly,
And I don't think the
I, Oh,
government pays for gym memberships anyway.
I don't think I, $14.53.
There she went.
I'm sorry.
$14.53.
We just blew
Maybe
the
that
top
was
off
over the line.
again.
I don't know.
We're blowing the roof off.
The line's way back there.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Anyway.
Okay, so I don't even think I've ever met this individual. I'll be totally honest. I don't think I've ever even, have I seen him in real life?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
I don't think I've ever
honestly.
even seen this person.
Well,
I've only
anyway,
seen him
continue.
I've only seen him a couple times in my life.
yeah, Kanan said a few things that, well, he took offense, but he did say he was going to try to go to the gym and lose weight, which I think's a good thing. And Kanan, you should be proud of yourself, brother.
I'm motivated.
You should be very proud. There's the break music. We'll finish this letter up when we come back from break. Catch us right here on the Hillbilly Broadcast. Stay with us. Oh, we're back from break. Oh my goodness.
Let's just go do, Phil.
I don't know what. Okay, so I made a pork loin today for Sunday dinner, and I've been having little carnivore turds ever since.
The butt-eating kind.
Yeah, I'm pooping like a bear.
Next weekend, I want you to help me with that rub that she was talking about today. Hopefully, we can minus out the carnivore turds.
Oh, there's no way
But-
getting around those. Yes,
Oh,
I will.
well.
I will absolutely help you, but
Yeah.
just be prepared. It's like you're pooping a bag of Quikrete.
Oh man, I used to like Quick Treat.
You always go poop after you eat, Kaden. What's the difference?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Valid point. No taken.
Valid point.
We've been friends way too long.
Yeah, we have. It's been great.
We were talking about our piece of hate mail that we got.
Yes.
Yes.
And we just barely got into it when it was time to go to break. So anyhow, the fellow was upset that Kanan made a fat joke, but he did say that he was going to go to the gym and start trying to lose weight. But it was his next part of his note that really got my attention, because I wish I had the stones that this guy had.
And some stones he has.
Yes, the stones he had. He said,
Gracious, no.
now my ex is one that didn't try, I'll be honest. Biggest woman I ever dated.
The biggest woman. The biggest woman.
The biggest
my
The biggest body.
The biggest
The
body.
biggest body. That deer had the biggest body. Oh, look. I mean, so my thing is like, no wonder they're separated. Did he ever say that to her face? I mean, I can probably see it now. He's like, hey, I'm going to the gym on the government's dime. I think you can too.
And you want some motivation? You're the biggest woman I've ever been with in my life.
There's your motivation.
There's your motivation.
No.
Man, how could he say that though? I mean, good heavens, man. Like, wow.
That's what he said. He also said that, let me see, I'm having to kind of edit it some of my head here. Some of it's a little hard to understand. I'm not saying that to insult women. She would be like, I dropped 2 sizes and I look the same size. then he said he would think he would be going to a movie. She would be bringing in pretzels and hot dogs.
And bags of popcorn.
It looks like he's trying to say she was bringing her nephew bags full of baby supplies. So I'm guessing she had like a diaper bag just crammed full of hot dogs and pretzels.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
They got a little charcoal grill in there, and they're grilling up hot dogs and hamburgers.
Dude.
They got George
Oh,
Foreman
my.
in there just flipping the burgers. What would you like, honey?
Jeez, man.
Dude, the
Well, like I
biggest
said-
woman, and she brings in all of the pretzels and hot dogs.
Dude, I gotta say, for hate mail, that was a gem. I love that one.
That was great.
We'll be
My
keeping
thing
that
is,
one.
I want to find this woman and take her to the movies so she can bring in all my free food.
That's why. Like that's what
She
you
must be a
want.
pro
Man,
at
right
this.
there.
I want to find this woman and interview her.
Yes. I want to get her. I want to get her side of the
this
story.
hate mail here.
Yeah. How did you handle when you were called the biggest woman I've ever dated?
Ever dated?
Oh
Wow.
no.
It's not a good way to start off a romance.
Well,
No, it's
okay,
not.
I'm like, for example, you say I'm the biggest girl you've ever dated because your ex was like a string
Phil,
bean.
how dare you? I can't believe you.
No, it's
Now
okay.
she's putting words in my.
No.
I have never
No,
ever said
no,
this.
seriously. No, I don't mean that in a wrong way either. He would just say, he's got.
I don't just say. I never say this. You're making me say things that I don't say.
Domesticating in the studio.
Hey, guys, I got a great story, though. Here's the thing. I don't think it's this bad. We actually know a couple. You all know them, too, I'm pretty sure.
Don't say the name.
I won't say the name.
Okay.
Won't say the name. But we all know him.
Yep.
He threw his back out trying to lift her. Oh, man. So,
Oh my gosh.
so if you weigh more than the husband and he can't lift you, that's a bad deal.
Okay, I
a problem.
I do not weigh more than Phil, so.
I'm just trying to get over the whole throw your back out. Can you imagine that? You're trying
Can
to
you
have a little
imagine?
romantic moment. You're like, here, baby, let me carry you in the house. You just hear sound like somebody just cracks a popsicle stick.
Instead of him carrying her over the threshold, she carries him.
EMT, what happened, sir? Well, I was trying to carry this fat heifer up the stairs.
She's carrying him.
Down
He's
I
got
went.
a bottle
Down I
in one
went.
hand and a pacifier in his mouth, and she's carrying him up. Oh, dude.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, my.
Anyways, if you have hate mail of any kind, please feel free to send it to us.
Yes.
Yes, please. Please, we
love
love it.
Or send us
So we
some.
can-
Don't hesitate. You know.
Well,
Yeah.
and
hate
see,
on us. Who cares?
here's
Send it to
what's
us.
funny is Phil actually told me about that one day, and he's like, I don't think we're going to use this. And as he's telling me, I'm literally just dying laughing on the phone with him. And I'm like, dude, this is gold. We have got to say this. We have to tell this. I mean, this is too good to pass up.
Yes.
Well, yeah, and like I told Katie, we're not making fun of the guy. I'm
No.
making fun of what he said. For
Yes.
him to see,
And
let
his
me be
fat
clear.
woman.
Let me
Yeah.
be
Some of us
clear.
may be making fun of it.
Like John has said, we hate everybody equally,
Yes.
Hate is such a strong word. Oh, my.
Hate has no home here. Oh. Well, Katie, we're not a fan of using strong words.
You look like you need to be grabbing your chest, Kanan.
The last thing we want to do is pussyfoot around about this,
It looks like he needs to be grabbing another man's chest.
Whose chest can I grab? Oh man, you didn't see it, but I caressed my wife.
2338. 2338.
We're quickly losing
I
control.
don't see why that has to be censored out. I'm married. I've got a license for this.
He got a license to make love.
Got me a little love license.
License for that love making. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. Oh goodness gracious, man.
That's the greatest rant I've ever heard in my life.
Oh.
Oh dude.
I got a license to make love.
Okay, so
right.
guys, we're talking. We went yesterday to Cass to see the trains, and they had 5 engines there?
Explain where Cass is, because not everybody knows where it's at.
Cass, West Virginia. They had a bunch of trains there. I don't know what to say. What do you want me to
It's
say?
Cass. It's the old, lumber mill and so on, so forth.
Big
stuff
logging
and things.
camp. That's the best way to say
Used
it.
to drop a lot of logs. Reminds me of my bathroom.
To be clear, this is in Cass, West Virginia. To be clear.
Yes, yes.
Cass, West Virginia,
Make sure to add the C.
where you have to
So-
have a special license to make love over there.
No.
Love making.
Train gets rocking, don't come knocking.
Literally
So,
That's right.
So we-
Take a love
Slobber over here.
bath, baby.
So we went.
Put the water in the tub.
Okay, so then what I was saying was, we went to this restaurant yesterday while we were at Cass, West Virginia, and there was. Kaden, you're not helping me at all. You're feeding off of this, and it's not helping. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm done.
No, you're not.
Leroy Lindell is having a stroke.
So I'm done. I quit.
No, you don't.
That's not
Tell us
true.
about West Virginia.
So while we were at this restaurant, they have all these little metal signs that have all these sayings on them. It's like crazy stuff. It just just stop it, Jonathan.
How
Okay.
crazy. You know what I'm saying?
How crazy
So
were
these
they?
signs. Okay, there's one of them. It was talking about the rear. What?
I'm not saying it. You're the one who brought it up. Dig yourself out of this hole.
The rear view saloon is what it was called. And it said, and my mom's sitting there eating her meatball sub, and she's like, oh, what's that one say? Oh, the rear view saloon. Stop it. They're overseas.
How sweet the sound.
Oh my.
Are you ever going to...
You stop it. You're making it worse. Okay. So, and it says on the front of it, it says,
Dude, I don't even know her.
there were all these signs that had inappropriate things on there.
Oh man. Oh, that's so funny.
You do realize I can't use any of that story, right? Because of that punchline?
Oh,
Why
that
not,
was great.
Phil? Come on.
Phil, over here having a church service, and she's telling us about this vulgar sign.
But so my mom was so embarrassed. It was awful. And my mom was like, oh, forgive me, Lord. She said, I'm leaving. And she gets up and walked out.
Oh my.
Okay. So I remember it was that the first episode we did that we really got into some of that story of you meowing at this?
It was the first or second episode for sure.
Yeah.
So I was sitting with, we were sitting at Mom's the other day. Me and you and Mom, we sitting there at Sunday dinner, and we got to talking about some of the other crazy stories that went on over there. Kanan, you've any come to mind for you?
Oh my, tons, dude.
It kind of it's hard to single them out. I did write down a couple that I wanted to get your guys' take on. Do you remember how we used to plan out on the last Saturday of every camp? We would plan out this military style attack
On the campground.
on the whole campground.
Yes.
Like, what kind? Like, what would you do?
Well, it was
Like, we went into planning to the point we had the grounds pulled up on GPS on our
Yes.
phones, looking at the satellite view,
Shut
planning our
up.
routes.
It's true. And
Yes.
let me add that they worked out beautifully every time we did
oh
that.
yeah, they did. Yes, they did. And it was, now, just to make sure that I'm clear on this, we weren't doing anything to cause any kind of damage or nothing like that. It was all stuff we'd heard our parents talk about, really. Because they'd be
Yeah.
out there and they'd be like, oh, hey, we used to go saran wrap the commodes. Wasn't that funny? And we're like,
Yeah.
well, my Georges, need some saran wrap.
And some TP.
And that leads me right into a story. Talking about saran wrapping the toilet seats.
Oh,
we was doing Vaseline in the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So we were putting Vaseline on. Remember, I believe it was just me and Kanan, wasn't it this time?
I think so.
So we were in there and we were putting Vaseline on like the faucet handles and the shower knobs and all the stall doors. And so we have this big tub of Vaseline. And Kaden's like, here, let me see that tub. He gets 2 handfuls of Vaseline and goes flying into this stall. It just commences to smearing this Vaseline all over the toilet seat. We had already saran wrapped the toilet, and he's just smearing Vaseline all over this toilet seat. So of course, you know, we go flying out of there thing because we'd already hit the whole thing. It was next day or a couple days later, we hear that somebody who shall remain nameless had
Brother.
You said it.
Yes.
somebody had going in there to take a number 2, and right as they went to pinch off a loaf, they slid out in the floor.
Yes, I remember. That was awesome. Dude, you feel bringing up Brother. That actually is really funny because do you guys remember how fast he was?
Oh, do I ever?
Dude,
Brother. Well, he was the one that we talked about in the first episode that could run like a spotted gazelle.
dude, he was probably the fastest man I've ever met in my life, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I remember
outrun him
one time. Did you really?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I
The one night
remember-
we was pranking, I mistook him for Phil, and I went to walk up to him, and now I was scared slapped to death, and I outrun him.
Wow, that's impressive. You know, because you guys, you remember Evan used to hang out with us down there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember Evan.
And of course, you remember in my young teenage days, I was pretty hefty, and I remember Evan, and we were all sitting around the table planning this, and I said, "Look, guys, if we have to, we'll just run, and we'll outrun them." and,
Yeah.
and Evan looked over, and he goes, "Kanan, no offense, but you're not outrunning him." Yeah, kind of hurt, but it's true there, Evan.
Do you remember he used to run the aisles and he would
Oh,
run
my.
so fast you couldn't even see him? It was like a blur. You'd be like,
It was.
Wait,
It
was that
was.
who I thought it was running? And then you'd go to look back where he was sitting and he was already standing there and you're like, did I actually see him running the aisles or
Yeah,
Well, this guy-
he was
What
so
was that?
fast.
This guy would run the aisles, and as he come past, he was spinning up bits of carpet. he was flying so fast. I mean,
shredding
dude,
carpet.
and I remember he used to, and if we want, we can edit out his name later. But I remember he used to take his job so seriously. I
Oh,
saw
he
some
did.
boys one time headed for the. This sounds weird. Headed for the shower, but they had these. Most people didn't have showers in their cabins, so you'd go down. It's not like we had one big shower. Gee whiz, why do I feel so gay telling this story?
I was about to say,
One time at church camp,
Phil's watching Gavin.
and Uncle Ben.
Because I was hiding in the stall doesn't mean anything.
You're only making this worse.
So, anyways, these guys are headed for the restroom. Okay, and it's after curfew, which was 11 p.m. And I just see a puff of smoke as old Brother Rice goes tearing around the corner.
Yes.
Because, heaven forbid, that you have to go either wash your butt crack or take a poop after curfew.
It's so true. It's so true,
I don't
dude.
know how you're supposed to have time to take a shower because like prayer meeting started at 5 a.m.
Seven.
and I'm exaggerating because they had early morning prayer and then they had breakfast and then they'd have morning service or Sunday school and then they'd have service and then they'd have lunch and then you'd have afternoon service and then you'd have youth service and then you'd have dinner and then you'd have church
That's way too
and then
much.
you'd have snack shack and then you had
And then what?
I don't know if this was military or if it was a cult. I don't really know which.
Oh, dude, it definitely leaned more towards a cult than it did military, that's for sure.
So
Yeah.
I remember though, talking about having to go to the bathrooms after curfew. So we had mentioned before that the cabin we had, was a fully finished cabin. Had a bathroom with a shower and a kitchen and everything. Like we had everything in that cabin that we would need for the entire night.
It was
However,
nice, yeah.
as we had said before, we were king of loopholes. So we would end up going to, we would walk to the bathrooms on the opposite side of the campground after curfew just because we could.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
so we could be out of the cabin.
And so we, because we were good Christian boys. So, to make sure that we weren't lying to them when they would ask us if you were going to the bathroom, we would actually go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah. We'd
You know,
stand
drop the
down
juice
there,
right there,
and
you
we'd
know
go
what
in
I'm
there and
saying?
we'd bear down on a turd that wasn't there for 10 minutes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, smell
That's
that
why
mother-
Phil was Phil's the master of farting because he's like, I have to go to the bathroom.
You just go sit in
Dude.
the stall for 5 minutes, just.
Yeah. Now, wasn't there some other boys that we won't mention their names that they were a little more wild than us, and they actually flooded that one of those bathrooms, didn't they?
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember them
Yeah,
flooding
they
it.
plugged the sinks up and just flooded
Yes.
the joint.
Yeah, flooded
you
the
serious?
joint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, see, we weren't that crazy, man. And that was the thing, man. I was actually thinking about this the other day. Honestly, two things. If they wouldn't have made such a big deal about the pranks and they wouldn't have chased us, dude, they would have solved the problem right there. We would have quit.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It would
they
have no
had-
longer.
They would get so mad. So mad
Yes.
at such a harmless prank.
Do you
That's why we kept going. Absolutely.
Do you remember
made
how
it
they tried
fun.
to say that they were worried for their girls, that they were gonna get hurt? Like you guys were serial rapists and weirdness. Like I couldn't
Well,
believe
there was
it.
one of
I'm
us.
gonna
No,
rape
I'm
you.
joking.
I'm just gonna rape you.
Oh, man. No.
Well, there was only one of us that was a rapist.
Well, so here's my
Chasing
thing.
down girls and holding them down so you can kiss them.
Do we kind of go into the story of why we eventually just left altogether of that camp?
Oh,
I mean, we're this far now. I don't see why not.
we might as well.
Might as well. I mean, so here's the thing. We did harmless pranks, and we did way less than a lot of other kids there, which the other kids
Absolutely.
got. The other kids got their flack too, because I mean the actual other kids actually did get banned for life. I mean,
Yeah.
so they got punishment.
Lucky
But man,
little
dude,
kids.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, right? But the harmless stuff that we did, and then if I'm not mistaken, Phil, wasn't it the Sunday morning, like the end of the camp? It was Sunday morning. Me and you and Missy are sitting in church,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he threatened us with the law.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. 100%.
And then if I'm not mistaken, I think your brother, Missy, John, I think he called me and said, no, that was another story I'm thinking of. Never mind. Sorry. Anyway.
Well, yeah. Yeah, he did. I remember him getting up in church on Sunday morning and getting up there and threatening to have us all in court. And he also, I remember what he said. He said, if you come forward, because they didn't know who it was. I mean, they did, but they didn't have any proof.
They had wanted
Yes.
us to confess, so they had actual confession, so they could
Yeah,
actually get
yeah.
you in trouble.
Well, and if
Yeah, they
I'm
wanted
honest
confession.
too, pulling pranks up there, it was always it's a tradition. Everybody
Yeah.
talks about when they did it as a kid. So we did the same thing.
There were kids
Yeah.
that were actually setting the backyard or the field on fire.
Yeah,
There
somebody
was
did-
some bad stuff that happened
That
up
was
there.
not us.
That was not us. We were good kids.
Honestly, our pranks every year was Vaseline and saran wrap.
And,
Yes.
and
Every
ketchup
year.
packets.
Every year, well, and toilet paper. We used toilet
Yeah,
paper
toilet
too.
paper.
We'd toilet paper cars.
Yep.
We'd Vaseline doorknobs.
That and a 12-gauge shotgun, we had a heck of a time.
Oh, man.
No, ours were harmless, but they so this guy gets up there, and I won't mention his name.
You might as well.
Right. No, he gets up there, and I remember him saying, he said, if you come forward and confess, I might forgive you. And I remember just sitting there thinking,
he might
Yeah.
forgive us. I mean,
Yeah,
what
So
in the world?
Isn't
Christ-like.
that
So
Christian-like?
Christ-like.
yeah.
Yes, amen to that.
And I just remember thinking, dude, you can shove your forgiveness straight up your rear end.
And that was,
Oh, I
it was
remember, dude, we stormed out of that service, went down to your cabin, woke up your brother, started packing up our crap, and that's when, go ahead, you can tell the rest of it. Didn't we end up getting confronted by 3 of his goons?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Because I ended up sleeping through the service that morning. You guys remember how I used to sleep? You couldn't hardly wake me up.
Yes.
And so you guys couldn't wake me up. So you guys went to service that morning. And I was still on the couch asleep when you guys got back. And you woke me up right as... Because I remember Phil was outside on the porch talking to these 3 dudes. And one of them had this old Crown Vic, this old, he had this
dude,
old
yes, I
retired
remember that
police
old car.
cruiser. It looked like a hunk of junk. It was
Yeah, this
painted,
old retarded police cruiser.
It looked like it was painted flat black with a paintbrush. I mean, it was a terrible looking car.
It was.
Oh.
So they're all standing out there, and Phil's talking to him. I remember Kanan came in and he woke me up. He's like, hey, these guys are out here, and Phil's talking to him right now. I'm like, what? I come rolling up out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, I come outside, I was steamed.
I remember that.
Because, I mean, I just woke up, so I was still kind of, half asleep, and I was furious for some odd reason. But I remember this guy, like, screaming mad because we Vaselined the door handles on his dumb little police car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his
Yeah.
87 Crown Vic.
Black. But do you
Yes.
remember how the year before when we were doing pranks and stuff? It was mostly you guys. I didn't really do much. But Brother Sutherland, I'll just go ahead and say his name. Because you guys
was cool.
put Vaseline on the bell whenever they went to go
Yes.
and ring the bell. And he was laughing and he's like, I just want to thank whoever it was for helping us preserve the bell so we're able to ring it for the next 20 years.
So it wouldn't rust.
It was so
Yeah.
nice.
And he knew what it was. He knew it was a prank, but he took it well,
Yes.
Well, we just kind of sat back and laughed and said, well, ain't that great? But then
Yeah.
when somebody threatens to take you to court, you just want to up the ante a little bit. Well, actually, what we did was said, I'm out of Dodge because I ain't going to jail at church camp.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
And they had no proof of who did it. That's why they wanted us to confess. And we're like, no, we're out of here.
Well, see, and that's not the first time that they actually. There were some kids in the story that I was actually in the middle of, and I realized it was the wrong year. The year before that, the cops actually was involved. Which, I mean, I understand a little bit of why the law was involved. That's actually another story for another time. But I remember that the law was called, and your brother John was like, dude, the law is called. Dude, the best thing you could do is pack your stuff and head for Ohio.
Yeah.
And so I actually got out of there. And the thing about it is I wasn't actually involved with all that had went on, but I was there, prior, to them finishing, their job. And so he's like, you were there, so dude, you might want to get out of here. So I left. Those kids actually ended up going to the police station, and luckily they didn't rat nobody out. They took the fall for it, and then actually, luckily, they didn't press any charges, but they did give them a ban for life, that they can no longer go back on this campground.
Yeah, I
And,
remember when that happened. I wasn't there at the time, but I remember, the phone calls going around about it because they just took it a step way too far. So let's make sure that people understand that, we got no issue with the camp getting upset over things like that.
Oh, absolutely not, dude. They had every reason to be very upset about that.
Oh,
And the thing about it is, dude, I mean, I think a ban for life is kind of bad because those kids will never be able to get older and go to that camp and ever be able to hear the gospel. But on the other hand, it's like, man, you guys went so far above and beyond, like, man.
Maybe so, but if they decided not to press charges, that was on them.
Well, yeah, but they did ban them for
there's
life. Though.
plenty of other places to hear the gospel than that cult place.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of true. So, I mean,
Yeah, I remember. The thing is, though, I got no issue with how the camp responded to that, but the way that they would flip out over little things.
oh my goodness,
They
dude,
made the whole campground look like a fool, and
They did.
I'm trying to pick my words carefully, but it just got to the point where it's like, look, I don't know even how serious you guys are about your stated mission of getting people in, and when I
Yeah.
come
Right.
here and we run around, and we do the same stuff that everybody's done for years,
Yeah.
and you threaten to have us put in jail.
yeah.
Like I said, the story you just told, we weren't involved with. That wasn't
No.
us.
No, we wasn't involved in that.
It just totally just come to my mind. The reason why they said that they were afraid for their girls. That come from me. So the same time,
I remember where you're. I remember where
remember
you're
when
going
Phil
with this. I
said that
remember
only one of us was a rapist?
It was actually John.
What happened was the same time that I outrun this feller, I had mistaken this guy for Phil because he was standing there kind of the same way that you do, and
His belly lopped over his knees.
because we'd already booked it because we had seen him coming, so we had already booked it and split. Well, I accidentally, like a retard, ran the wrong direction. And I was hiding underneath of a building. And I see this dude. I'm like, oh, that's Phil. He's looking for me. So I go walking up through there, and I'm like, wait a minute. That ain't him, because that dude's got glasses on. So I take off flying down behind this row of cabins and run over behind the lowest bathroom. And that time we pulled that prank, we went out and we got all new clothes that were all black. We had never worn them before. And after that prank, we had trashed them. Like we
took this stuff way too seriously. Yeah.
And so I had a black hat on, black T-shirt, black pants, and I had a green bandana tied around my face.
Get a mask or something on, yeah.
And so, unbeknownst to me, there was two women in the bathroom when I run down behind it.
Poor thing.
And they hear me go, come up through there, and I'm trying to catch my breath. I'm dying because I'm
steaming past.
And I peek around because you had the women's bathroom on one side and the men's bathroom on the other. So I'm peeking around the corner to see if this Rice dude's chasing me. And I'm looking around the corner that's by the women's bathroom. Right as I go to peek around the corner, this woman goes to peek around the corner to see what just ran past.
Ah, yes.
So
I
as
remember
she
that.
does that, here I stand with a mask on, wearing all black. The only thing you can see is my eyes. And
Dude,
she lets
yes.
out a scream. I mean, you'd have thought I stabbed her. And so then I took off booking the other way, and that's when I ended up outrunning.
So that's what they said
But
they were afraid for their women.
Yes, that's
Well, I
where
would
that
be
would have
afraid
had to
too
have come from.
if I peeked around the corner face to face with a redneck monkey.
Yes.
Oh, dude. Man.
A redneck ninja. Because you're dressed in black.
Ninja star.
Ninja store.
So
I'd be terrified for my women.
So I mean, and so that right there was really the reason that we just pulled out. That was after that year. It was just like, man, you guys are it's harmless pranks, and you're threatening us with the law. I'm done. I'm out.
Oh, and there was a lot of other things too when it comes.
Oh, yes.
If you
Absolutely.
really want to get down theological, a lot of their theology was plain wrong. They
Yes.
put focus on things they should have never put focus on. Like if you had you had a lady come on there and she had on, it's in the middle of summer. It's frickin' July. If she come in there in like a pair of shorts and a T-shirt, dude, they would run her off that camp so fast she didn't know what hit her.
And like they were
It's
always
true.
looking for people to help in the kitchen, and they wouldn't let, if you were divorced, you couldn't go work in the kitchen, and you couldn't wear short sleeves either.
Well, they did
Yeah.
let people who were divorced work in the kitchen. I've seen
They,
it.
they got on to the person though you're thinking about.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So they did
Well,
give them trouble.
Well, I had
That's a
remembered
shame.
that same thing too. And it wasn't even like, okay, I'm divorced and remarried. No, it was just if you was divorced,
At all, yep.
you just
Yeah.
had that, the mark of the beast on you, and that was the end
So
of it. Like, you couldn't
I
do
guess
nothing.
your hands were just filthy with divorce. But dude, another funny part to that though, you remember my dad going around that campground that Sunday. Them
yes.
boys didn't do it. Them boys are good boys. I know them boys wouldn't do it. And when I'm like, Dad, please shut up, dude. You're making a
Just
fool of
shut up.
yourself.
Yes. Oh, I firmly remember that because poor old Steve was trying his best to stick up for us, and we didn't deserve any sticking up for.
No, we didn't, man. No, we didn't. Not at all. That was quite humorous.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
But like
Dude,
seriously
there-
though, out of all the things in the world for kids to do, I would much rather my kids doing exactly what like we kids did than going out there
Yeah.
and doing like really bad things.
Exactly right. Well, I'll tell you, there is so much more of these stories to get into, man. I mean,
Oh yeah.
dude, we've not
Well, and
even
let's-
hit it all.
Let's be honest too. They didn't have a whole lot of stuff for kids to do up there neither.
No, they didn't. They
You
didn't.
go sit in church for 3 times a day for 10 days, you start
Yep.
to get a little wore out.
Well, and I can remember.
Yes, you do.
I can remember as a young kid when we would go, there would be so many kids playing a game of baseball. We would have like 20 people on each team, and this is all kids, not adults.
Yes,
And
I
then
know.
by the time that we got, to the point we left, there was like not even enough people to have 2 teams to play. It was
I know.
terrible. And
It was.
and it was that way. It was the same way for years. They never tried to change anything.
Nope, not a bit. Not a bit. And it's getting worse, man. Have you seen pictures of it like recently?
I haven't.
No.
Like last year? Oh, it was horrible. There was like hardly nobody in the service.
We
I'm
actually
talking
got
dogs.
blocked. We got blocked on a lot of those things after that.
Well,
Facebook.
I'm just talking about like I still got family that goes there and stuff, and so they'll post pictures. That's the only way I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got, and I want to be careful because I don't want anybody to start, because you know some outfits can be, they'll come after you with legal trouble if they feel like you're interfering with the Lord's work. But and I don't know if we should leave this in or not. You remember they stole that girl's cabin? And that's when we started getting really excommunicated. We started calling them out on it.
Dude, I remember something about this a little bit, but not a lot.
I'll say the name and then bleep it out.
Yes.
They flat out stole her cabin, dude.
I remember that. Yeah, because they had just fixed it up, man. And then they're like, nope, it's not. You know, it's not yours.
She hasn't been here for so many years. Well, then she showed up, so she would be within that time frame when she's supposed to be. Then they bring a little paper around for her to sign, saying that she will always follow the Lord and line up with all this little stupid crap, whatever it was they had on that paper.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, why don't you wipe your butt with that? What is wrong? But
dude, yeah.
Oh, well.
There was so much crap on with that camp, dude. And dude, like, we'll have to hit this again because there is so much here, man. There's so much here.
Yeah, there's no way to cover this in one episode. But anyhow, that's what happened, and that's ultimately the way it ended.
And that's how we haven't been back in, what has it been, 7 years?
I would say at least 7 years, probably longer than that.
Maybe 8 years, something like that. It's been a long time, man. And I have no desire to go back.
No, not at all. It is kind of sad, like you say, you know, like our kids won't be raised there like we were. But
I know, and that is the sad thing.
It's sad, but at the same time, I really
want to keep them away from that.
Yeah, I don't want my kids around that kind of garbage.
Nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right, guys. Looks like we're starting to wind her down. Let's take her around the table. You guys, Michigan, anything to close it out with?
No, I think we're good.
You good?
We said a lot of stuff here.
We did say a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we did say a lot of stuff.
John, you got anything?
When we get to talking about all this stuff, especially we get on these stories of this church camp, you know, we're not hating on Christianity or on the church camp or what they're trying to do or anything. And
absolutely not.
You know, it was just such a big part of our life growing up to begin with because of the management that was there and everything. It was really, really good when we grew up. So it really just disgusts us at the way it's turned out.
The way it disintegrated. Like,
that's why there's so much that we talk about it because we miss those times. You know, so it's not like we're just hating on, you know, this as the Christianity and all that stuff as a whole. We're just disgusted at how things happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because and like you said, I want to make that very clear to people. We're not. I just want to echo what you said. We're not hating on Christianity. That's I'm still a believer, 100%. You know, I'm sitting in church this morning and really enjoying myself. But when Christianity is distorted, the way that it was at places like that camp when we left, then it makes me sick, and I can't handle it.
It's like the message has changed from what it was when we first went there to what it was when the last time we were there. The spirit was different. The focus was different. It instead of being a time of fellowship and fun, you know, with fellow believers, it turned into a whole, if you're not following this rule, then, you know, sorry on you. You know, you're not going to be a part of this ever again. And that's whenever they started chasing people, saying to sign these papers and being ridiculous.
What happened was it went from following God to follow the rule book.